and welcome to Janet being Janet. Okay, so guess what? We're gonna do a Miss Katie video while I get unready for my day, okay? And she just happens to talk about her own abuse. So if that triggers you or that's gonna be a problem, please click off this video because your sanity means a lot more to me than she will on a video. Let's go! Yeah, and if you ain't done that already or you undid that, you wouldn't know I was doing a Miss Katie video now, would you?
Hi besties, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. Christine Brown Woolley is getting a lot of attention right now because she has a book coming out in September.
Oh, and you're promoting that book like crazy over on your channel, aren't you? Oh, yeah, you are. Every story has to come some way from that book, not from anything else, because you're preparing your audience for it.
To be released in 1 month. And ahead of the book release, there's been a lot of conversation with Mary. And Mary appears to be, I don't know if she's bothered by it. I don't know if she's supportive of it.
I know what you're bothered by. Usually your content on the Browns will go close to 100,000. You want to know how many she's got on this one? She's got 58,000 views and it's already been 3 days. You know she's bothered by that.
But Mary and Christine have a very complicated relationship. And because Mary was the first wife in the family and held more control and parented much differently than
you hold control of absolutely everything in your house, so you think you should control everything that is said or done to you.
Christine, and Christine said that Mary often would make fun of her or mock her or not be very nice to her. And if you're...
You mock people, don't you? Yes, ma'am, you do. If you don't mock them, you have somebody else close to you mock them, because I will continue to hold Amy over your daggum head, because you had her mock somebody. Certainly did. And even, hey, at one point, you know what? I don't go after Todd, but at one point, Todd was mocking the same person, which was mocking Southern language, and we don't do that, okay?
Mary's position, she's the first wife, and her husband's having all of these mistresses and babies, and she has to take responsibility for them in a way. And
you said all you want is one baby, so you can't relate to her at all, so don't try.
I can't imagine that would make any woman feel great about the woman that she's sharing her husband with. But in a world where they were saying they were going to do this to coexist, and it was because they had faith in doing this and they wanted to be there, even though I don't think they did. But
okay, so you don't think they did? Hey, everything in here is my opinion, only my opinion. This is for educational educational ain't nothing I'll say educational. Entertainment purposes and only entertainment purposes. And if I fail to entertain you, I do sincerely apologize. Miss Katie, leave people's religion alone.
They have a complicated relationship, and Christine wants nothing to do with Mary because of the way that Mary treated her children. And Christine briefly touched on that.
There's a little thing going around that, and we've seen videos in the past when you're filming and when you're doing your thing, you don't want anything to do with anybody else.
In Becoming Sister Wives, where she spoke about how Mary had gotten really aggressive with a couple of her kids, and she had made...
Imagine if Miss Katie, somehow or another got involved in this whole thing. Y'all just imagine a whole bunch of kids around Miss Katie. Y'all imagine it. Because if you imagine it long enough, you're going to laugh your bottom off. You want to know why she couldn't do it? No.
Some comments or done something that she felt crossed a line, and she didn't want Mary to ever interact with her children in that way again. And she also felt like she couldn't trust Mary anymore. She wanted Mary to...
I just lost my daggum nose ring somewhere. I don't know where it went. I felt it come out. I waste these things.
Stop parenting her kids and stay out of there, period. And she said that it took a long time to even think about rebuilding a relationship with Mary, and she never really did. And some of the kids have...
I would not want a relationship with you whatsoever at all, no matter what kind of relationship it is. I wouldn't want one, and whoever does, they done lost it.
Alluded to the fact that things happened with Mary. And Mary, for her part, has largely ignored these aspects of the conversation. And
I love how she now puts info cards in there. She'll get so far into her video and she'll put info cards in there to where they'll go watch Blake. But people aren't doing that for her. And her views aren't what they used to be.
Obviously, we know what happens in polygamy, right? A woman leaves and then suddenly everyone is driving the bus over the woman that leaves. And so you
drive the bus over anybody you talk about because you don't have any compassion for no one. Play, Katie.
Suddenly the villain in every situation. However, in polygamy, like most cults, individuals that are victimized often become victimizers of other people.
Okay, so that means that it follows par with you, right? Because that has part of your history, and you're just transferring that on other people whenever you give your opinion.
In a hierarchy such as polygamy, the women might victimize other sister wives. They may
They might, they may, they could. Miss Kaiti don't know. She's just going to throw things out there. Why? Because she's got to start doing these videos.
My other sister wives' children or their own children. It's a trickle-down effect. And Mary appeared to be very hard on the children. And Peyton's commented on this. Maddie has called Mary an abuser.
Didn't you say that you had a really hard upbringing? I think you did. Maybe we'll find out.
McKelty refuses to talk to her and also calls Mary an abuser. Peyton has said that Mary's abuse went way past verbal, and that if some details of what occurred, the show wouldn't even be on the air. Now, Peyton...
You take anything somebody says and you will turn it into something that, so much worse. They are abusing your character. I mean, that's just, you will use the word victim in so many different ways. It is ridiculous. Somebody says your name and it's not positive, you are immediately a victim. But you have no problem saying anything about anybody else.
Definitely was a kid that was pretty aggressive, as a child.
Nope, not we're not doing that. You're not going to talk about somebody as a child. No, but I'm, okay, shush up.
And so he might have taken some brunt from Mary in that regard. But the issue here is that Mary's never addressed it. Never. But instead of addressing that...
Let's address the things that you post over there on Insta about, like, your son having a play day and you having to take somebody home. And you never post things like that. You never post things like that. You're trying to be relatable to everybody, and you're not relatable. You don't understand how to be relatable to anybody.
That elephant in the room, she has gone along and done this thing called Worthy Up, where recently Mary has been saying, I'm not going to tell anyone.
What's so funny? What's so funny, Miss Kaiti? You don't do brown videos anymore. You don't know half the stuff that's going on in that world, and hopefully your viewers are finally starting to realize it, that you don't care.
How to live their life, and I'm not going to tell anyone how to grieve, but she has an entire community.
You're going to tell people not to criticize you, because if they don't, you
called Worthy Up, where she basically tells people how to be worthy. And she's following some sort of like blueprint that Mel Robbins made, and she's like in this Mel Robbins sort of, vortex, and she wants to be the self-help guru. And so
you want everybody to come to you for help, especially whenever it came to these subpoenas. Now that, if y'all realize and y'all pay attention, now that her subpoena has been bye-bye, she's no longer mentioning everybody else that is getting subpoenas. She don't care unless it's going to be a story for her.
When she said she didn't want to tell anyone that she didn't want to grieve, I thought that was a little bit hypocritical, because she does that on Worthy Up. But on...
Oh, you definitely know what a hypocrite is. You definitely know. So, when you say somebody's a hypocrite, I'm going to let you say it.
Series of videos that she posted, she did acknowledge what she did to the kids. Check this out.
Who I am and why I am how I am. What do I want to change in my life to become better on a daily basis is understanding why I have some of the personality traits that I have. When I look back at my past and my childhood, and even as an adult after I got married and was going through different life experiences, for instance, I was a very strict parent. Understanding why makes it so that I don't shame myself. Not saying that anything is okay, not saying that bad behaviors are okay, but understanding why makes a difference for me. And that all came through.
I have to do this to get through it because it is part of Miss Kaiti's video. So I have to make my commentary and I have to speed it up and do all that stuff. But she's got words on the screen and I trust y'all to read.
Therapy. When I started going through therapy and really understanding me as a person, that really made a difference.
I think...
Okay, so Miss Kaiti, she doesn't go through therapy, so how she can even speak about therapy right now, I do not know. So if she starts, nope, ain't gonna be good.
One of the hardest parts for me as a person that has been investigating this cult and covering this family and...
Investigating, because she's an investigative reporter.
And digging in and reporting on the harms of...
That's right, digging in. Digging into people's lives, digging into subjects, digging into everything.
The system. One of the hardest aspects in covering this case is not getting personally offended when certain people say things.
Oh, she already has. Yep, she already has. There ain't nothing that can be said or done. She is offended for somebody not to be praising her.
Things where you're like, but what about the harm you caused, right? And something...
Miss Kaiti, can we talk about your harm that you caused? Oh, no, we can't talk about that because that's unfair to Miss Kaiti, ain't it?
That I have found in my investigations of these cultures is that...
It's an investigation. Everything she does now is it's an investigation. So y'all have to accept it. She is still an investigative reporter.
There's such an indoctrinated belief that their public persona is so important, like their reputation is important.
I think your reputation is important to you, and that's the reason why you do a lot of things that you do. You do them to people because you don't... One person said that you were unreliable, and so what did? You went and doxed them. What does that say about you as a person?
And they're always supposed to be making polygamy look good. And they are groomed from a very young...
You should be making your channel look good, but you're not. And that's definitely seen in the numbers.
Age to sort of sanitize what happens and either gaslight, deflect, or minimize.
Yeah, you can't gaslight a bunch of your audience anymore because ever since, oh my goodness, Zach came out and said a lot of things about you. I see the result that it's having.
And Mary has really wanted to
What you huffing and puffing for? Oh yeah, that's because you have no story here.
curate this version of herself that she's a kind, loving person that is, humble and will go out of her way for people and will always exercise kindness and be value and in her relationships.
And that's what Miss Katie wants to be viewed like, and nobody views her like that.
Which may be true in some of her relationships, but is not true in other relationships. And everyone has the capacity to grow and change, absolutely. But
Okay, so
if Mary has
when are you going to grow and change and become an adult and not become so booty hurt every time somebody says your name incorrectly? Or you know what, it's said correctly, you just don't like the terms they use it in.
a good therapist, she should also hold Mary accountable
You go get a good therapist. Don't you dare talk about holding anybody else accountable. You don't hold yourself accountable, and you won't let anybody hold you accountable. You run.
And so Mary can go back into her childhood and she can say, well, yeah, I grew up abused by my parents, or my dad was physically abusive, or my mom was physically abusive, whatever it was. We know her dad was. And
so
she can go into her relationship.
you got to compare yourself to them, right? Is that what we're about to do? You got to compare yourself so that you'll have a talking point, because you haven't had a talking point on them in a long time.
With Cody, and she can say, well, I was being emotionally and psychologically and sexually or whatever
Don't use that word, but she could say. She could. Is that your advice to her, Miss Katie? Because you have a really big problem about that.
the harm was that Cody caused her by Cody. But none of that would ever justify her deciding to then become an abuser herself. She says that.
So there's no excuse for you treating people the way you treat people, right? There's no excuse. If there's no excuse for Mary, there's no excuse for you, but you want a double standard. That's what you live by.
It helps her understand why she's done things and allows her not to shame herself, which kind of makes it feel to me like that's a coping mechanism because she doesn't want to deal with it.
Miss Katie knows about a coping mechanism, huh? Yeah, she copes with a lot of things. No. Hey, press the button.
Fact of what she's done, and it might be hard to accept that she's what she's done. You know, they have some parents that are abusive. I know in my personal experience, it's to
see. Here we go. She's becoming relatable, guys. Miss Katie is a relatable content creator, journalist. She's one of them too. Man, she's just becoming so relatable to everybody, guys. She saw herself on that news interview and she was like, my hair didn't look good. I gotta cut it. She's letting everybody into her personal life right now.
To pretend it never happened, to gaslight you and make you feel like you're imagining things, or to minimize and say, well, I was abused more than you as a child, whatever it is that they need to tell themselves.
Hey, that's what you do, huh? You're letting it all out. You're letting it out, the reason why you are who you are, because you are just one that no matter what anybody says or does, they don't even have to talk bad about you. They're victimizing you.
To justify why they made the choice that they made. But in 2025, I just want to be clear, choosing to abuse someone is a choice, even if you've been a victim of abuse yourself. And choosing to...
So you do understand that there's other ways you can abuse your YouTube channel. You can abuse a lot of things. I'm saying abuse. I'm sorry, guys. But you can use that in so many different ways. Look in a mirror, Miss Katie. Seriously, look in a mirror.
Harm children is a choice. And choosing to lash out, get physical, whatever it was, is a choice. And what
choosing to tell your kid, get out of the room. Go find your daddy. I'm doing something right now. That's a choice, Miss Katie, and you choose it.
You experienced as a child does not in any way justify what you do to that child. That's completely unrelated.
What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you about this one? She's talking about herself. She ain't got that mirror.
Related to your childhood. That doesn't need to have your trauma imparted onto them. I think that, and I don't know, but I do think that Mary could be having some nerves about...
Quit making so many videos where all you say is, I don't know. Stop it. Do you know how ignorant you look right now? My opinion, my word. But do you know how you look?
What's going to be in Christine's book? Because she's spent a lot of time recently, making comments like she doesn't want to tell people how to live their lives.
I can't remember the person that was doing that review on her or that story on her. Chelsea, I think is her name. And y'all remember when, before it even came out, Miss Katie was already doing damage control on Instagram and stuff like that, and then it comes out and we're all like, you missed this, what about this, what about this, what about this? And it wasn't even as deep as what Miss Katie thought it was going to be. So she went on this whole tirade for absolutely no reason whatsoever at all, because everything that was said was just common knowledge.
She doesn't want to tell people how to grieve. She doesn't want to tell people that it's all positive. Here's an example.
I'm not going to go tell a friend or a family member to grieve their divorce or whatever grief they're going through in the same way that I grieved it, and I'm not going to tell them to heal the way that I.
Do y'all remember when she was like doing Marvin and who was the most recent one? Goodness gracious, I can't tell you the most recent one that she was doing where she was donating. Was it Allison's family? I can't remember who it was where she said she donated like $500 or something like that. I can't remember all that. Y'all know, y'all remember, but do y'all not remember her supporting all that and, you know, helping people grieve and helping people out? You remember that?
Healed or am healing, because we're two different people. We do things different. I know what's in my heart. I know what my value system is. I know the things that I need to process my grief and to move forward into healing, just like everybody else does. It's so individual.
But with Miss Katie helping those families, it was a lot easier whenever she was getting money and getting money sent to them. I remember Marvin. I remember him, but I cannot, for the goodness gracious of me, remember the latest one.
And it's so unique to each of us. The process is not the same for everybody. So it's not fair for me to put that on others the way that I think it should be done, just like it's not fair for somebody else to put their grief journey or their healing process on me because it worked for them.
Now here's just my take, and I'm no one and I don't matter, and I'm just an online commentator.
Ooh, she said it, oh yes, she did.
An investigative journalist that doesn't matter at all.
See, she's an investigative journalist, but she said, I don't matter at all. Y'all heard that.
But if I were to have an opinion, I would just say that, like, neither Christine
We all know you have an opinion. You better hush that crap up.
nor Mary have it all figured out. Neither one of them have the answers, nor can any one of them tell you how to live your life. Both of them.
Neither can you, but you have suggestions for people, don't you? Because when you talk to these people behind the scenes and whatnot, do I believe you ain't telling them you need to do this, you need to tell me this, we need to go by this? I believe that's what you do. I seriously do.
Use their platforms in similar ways. Christine to encourage and to inspire, and Mary to get you to worthy up. And they both compete with one another still. And Mary has.
You compete with other people. You're competing with everybody for this Blake story and all that. And I think you did one where it says that this, Justin's wanting it dismissed or whatever. What are you going to do, Miss Katie? What do you have left to do?
For more than a year, told people how to grieve. She's told people how to be worthy. She's told people how to heal and get better and think better and be better. She wants to be someone that is a motivational speaker. She wants to be a coach. And so, if
there is no way you could do that, Miss Katie, because you have to actually go out in public and have a little bit of fun, but be able to be personable. You're not even personable through your daggum channel.
she doesn't want to tell other people how to grieve, then she shouldn't have Worthy Up. If she doesn't want to tell people how to go through their journey, then she shouldn't have Worthy Up. And if I'm being very honest, there's ways to...
If you have to say, I'm going to be honest, can I be honest? I will be honest. Then that means you're never honest the rest of the time. So never believe what Miss Katie has to say.
Share information without monetizing it, right? I think they need to make...
Why don't you not monetize certain things? You monetize a really tragic thing in their lives. You monetized it.
Money, they have this like inherent need, like I need to stay profitable. I want to use my platform. I have all these bills I need to pay. I need to do...
Miss Katie's looking at herself, ain't she? Yeah, y'all didn't know it was going to get so interested in the beginning, did you?
Do these things. I need to show the world that I've changed, that I've grown, that I want to be more than what I am on the show. I get it. But I think,
You don't get it because you're trying to show people you are more than your channel, and it is not working, guys. I'm telling you.
Some habits die hard because they grew up in a system where they had to have the answers. And now they're leaving a high control.
You have absolutely no answers, but you're trying to tell everybody how to do things, and you want people to report to your attorney, and you want everything to be about you.
Group that told them how to live, told them what to watch, listen to, where, who to marry, how to act, what to think, what to process. I mean, everything was controlled. And it's very easy to hop from one system to...
My opinion is that you control absolutely everything because you make all the big bucks in your house. And I think that, you said that your other half is a stay-at-home, right? And he takes care of your kiddo, right? But it takes two people. It takes a mama and a daddy to do it, right? Sometimes when you live in the same house, unless there's fighting all the time. Play, Katie.
to another, which I think Mary is hopping into a self-help type culture. And both of them, whether it's Christine or Mary,
Hey, guess what, Miss Katie? It don't matter what they're jumping into, you're going to start covering them again, because if this Blake case goes away, y'all start thinking to yourself, what exactly is she going to do without it?
want to have answers to help. And sometimes maybe it's like, I don't have the answers, right? I don't have any
You never have answers, Miss Katie. You only have what you think is right.
answers. I personally can't fathom doing self-help because I feel like my life is such a colossal mess that if I tried to give anyone
She's admitting it. No. Her life's a mess.
advice, I'd be like, are you kidding me? You should go just do your thing, live your life, be happy, find what's happy, be like, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not
Hey, I'm happy right now. Are y'all happy right now? Are y'all smiling and having a good time? I am, because I'm listening to everything Miss Katie's saying, and she's talking about herself.
not someone that's here. I'm not a coach. I don't have the answers. Just go do your thing, be happy, go to therapy. I think my biggest thing I often recommend is just to go to therapy if you feel like you need help.
Okay, so then why don't you go to therapy? We think you need help. You need to go to therapy.
That's the best place, and that's the best that worked for me. So with Mary making
Oh, so you've been in therapy before and it worked for you? You've gone to a therapist? So your therapist turned you out to be who you are. That's sad.
comments like she's not going to tell people things. Okay, I think that's a dig at Christine. But I also think she's nervous about what Christine is going to put in that book because they don't have a clue.
Wouldn't it be funny if Christine put something about a reaction channel that always talks about her? Or it might as well be a reaction channel. That's what Miss Katie is. She reacts to what other people do. So, I mean, she's not doing research, most of the time. She's just a reaction channel. Reaction channels do research too. Did y'all realize that? She is a reaction channel. She reacts to whatever's happening.
Cloak of charity anymore, right? There's no cloak of charity. And in the last
Quit asking me if everything's right. If you don't know if it's right or not, don't say it.
few years, some of her kids, Christine, have made very public statements about how they don't want to associate with her. And Christine is very publicly on the show. So
I have her turned up to 1.5. Just imagine if I didn't. Imagine how slow she's talking. She still drags out these daggum videos because she ain't got nothing else to say or do. If it's a slow Blake day, she'll post like one video because that's all she can do when she used to post 3 or 4 a day.
said that McKelty will not invite Mary to anything related to her children, and she will not invite Mary to anything related to her. She does not want to have a relationship with Mary. That's been said on the show. So there's been a lot of skating around what
Yeah, but you don't want a relationship with certain people, right? That's what I am. I don't want a relationship with certain people because they're just not healthy to be in my life.
happened between McKelty and Mary. And I don't know if that's going to become a topic of conversation in Christine's book, if she's going to be honest about what happened, or that
If she's going to be honest. Yeah, if Christine's going to be honest about things in her book. Yeah. You said those words, didn't you? No, Christine's going to lie in her book, Miss Katie. What do you think?
that's McKelty's story to tell. I don't know. But all I would think is I believe in transparency and I believe in truth and I believe in
No, you don't. Absolutely, you do not. You need to quit getting out here and lying to people. You're not transparent whatsoever at all. Well, we see who you are. Your audience doesn't get to see who you are, and that's a shame.
being honest and not sugarcoating things. And so if I were in their situation, I would not.
Hey, I'm honest and I don't sugarcoat things, and I can tell you right now, there are things that you do not know. There really are. There are things that you shouldn't be saying, but you say them anyways.
I'd be looking to be honest without being
You hear she uses that word when she ain't got nothing else to say.
ashamed, and being honest without fearing it'll cancel the show, and honestly saying,
Hey, people are trying to cancel you left and right because of the things you do behind the scenes. It's not what you put on camera, it's what you don't.
this is what happened, this is what I did, instead of dancing around it, and instead of Mary constantly sort of sending jabs at
Are you going to admit the things that you did, Miss Katie? I know some big things that you did that you never admitted to. And I'm not going to say it because I know you'll come after me, but you know what I'm talking about.
Christine because of probably what she fears Christine is going to say, instead just acknowledging what she did. Humility can go a long way. Repairing relationships.
And you absolutely have none of that, do you? All you have is blame, hard feelings, and your feelers got hurt really, really badly, and so that's why you're doing videos like this.
Can go a long way. Admitting you did something, acknowledging you did something, and not
Are you going to acknowledge anything? Absolutely not, so don't be telling other people to.
calling it strict parenting. Everyone had a choice in the system to act the way that they did. Everyone had had choices to treat the children how they treated them. Every parent had an opportunity to do the right thing. Each one of these parents in some way has failed their
You do understand. You're sitting here talking about these parents failing their children in one way or another, and you say that pretty much with your whole chest because you didn't say my opinion. I said everything, and here's my opinion. If I tell you to get a mirror one more time, I'm going to lose it because I got them all around me, and I don't understand how you don't because you need to.
Children. All parents fail their children in some way. None of us are perfect. But the goal, I think, for
None of us are perfect, but a bunch of us don't shut our kids out. You'll hear my kids in the background all the time. Because if they need me, I get up and I go see what they need. I don't stop or I don't, continue doing what I'm doing. I make sure that they're first.
most of us is that we're not going to repeat what happened to us or transfer it onto our childhood onto our children.
Then why are you repeating it now, Miss Katie? You've repeated it to people. That's how people know about your childhood. So you can't say that you don't repeat anything from your childhood. You've already done that, and you don't like it when people bring it up to you.
Because they're innocent. So if anything, I hope Mary can at some point just acknowledge what it is that she did and stop running around it and stop.
When are you going to acknowledge something that you did? Huh? When you gonna do it? Never. So don't be asking other people to acknowledge it. I will acknowledge what I did wrong. Just tell me what I did wrong. I will acknowledge it or I'll explain myself. But still, you don't do that.
Stop excusing it or making statements like, well,
remember when you're in high school? There's no excuse for you.
this is what happened to me. And it's not an excuse. And it doesn't change what I did. Well, what is it that you've done? Tell us what you did.
All right, Miss Katie, do it. Tell us what you did. Tell us these things you've been doing behind the scenes. Come on, tell us.
Stop hiding. Face it. Or is the truth too hard to face? I don't know.
Hey, you hide in your house. You hide in your office. That's the places you hide, so I don't even want to hear it.
I care about, the children in this family having the opportunity to have a voice and share their side of the story. And if they feel like they want to publicly, they should. If not, they can keep it private.
She was talking about how she doesn't show her son anymore. It's been years since she showed her son and this, that, and the other. You do understand that if you talk about your son or you post about your son, people are going to talk about your son. Do you understand that, Miss Katie? So you really need to stop referring to children and you need to stop saying stuff about your son over on Insta.
But I also think that if the parents are accused of things, they shouldn't dodge it and they should acknowledge it.
Don't give advice when you won't take your own.
And if anything, Mary should maybe get a PR agent to help. So what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below.
Oh, I'm giving you my thoughts every single time, and you get mad at me every single time.
Make sure to give this video a thumbs up.
Hey, y'all can thumbs up it, thumbs down it. Hey, whatever y'all want to do, I will not tell you.
Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much.
And if you do decide to click the bell, hit it to all because, yes, I'm still covering Miss Katie. I got 4 I cover. And I do this for fun. I cover. Listen to me. I've been listening to her too long. But, yeah, I got 4 people that I do, and I just have a bunch of fun on YouTube. All right, guys, I want to go ahead and say to you, I hope you have a good day, night, weekend, holiday, year, whenever you might be watching this. And remember to smile today. Or make somebody else smile, because it really can make a difference. You want to know what I got to do now? You want to know what I got to do now? Find my nose ring. I keep losing them, and I ain't got none left. And I'm like, I don't know where it went. It should shine, but it probably ain't going to shine. So it's probably going to take me forever to find it if I'm even lucky. But okay, that's my dilemma for the day. I hope y'all don't have a bad one. All right.